Good morning to all of you. Today here we discuss relation between magnitude of polarization vector and induced charge density. In previous lecture we defined polarization vector. What is the polarization vector? Polarization vector of an dielectric when it placed in external field is defined as induced dipole moment. Induced dipole moment of dielectric per unit volume. That means here polarization vector capital P is defined as induced dipole moment of dielectric divided by volume of dielectric. Now here we take an electric, here we take a dielectric. This dielectric placed in external field. What happens? When a dielectric placed in external field, then its each molecule polarize. Its each molecule polarize. That means negative and positive charges separated. In polar dielectric and in non-polar dielectric, they are already separated and they are aligned in direction of field. Now here these are the molecular dipoles. When dielectric placed in external field, the negative charge experience force opposite to field and the positive charge experience force in direction of field. That means negative charges comes in left side and the positive charges comes in the right side. Now here we take this one is the block. Now here total negative charge comes at left side and the total positive charge comes at right side. Now here this one is the QP. QP is the induced negative charge. Here plus QP. This one is the induced positive charge. Let capital A is the area of dielectric slab. This one is the dielectric slab. And a small d is the thickness of slab. This one is a small d. Thickness of slab. Then what is the volume of this slab? Now here volume of slab is volume of slab A into L. This one is the capital V. Now let QP is the induced charge. Then dielectric dipole here minus QP here plus QP, and this one is the separation. Now what is the value of dipole moment of dielectric? Now here dipole moment of dielectric, dipole moment of dielectric is equal to QP into D. Here minus QP and the plus QP. This one is the negative induced charge, this one is the positive induced charge. If there are two charges have same magnitude but in opposite signs separated by a distance, then it have dipole moment. Then here dipole moment of dielectric is QPD. Let sigma p is the induced surface charge density. Then sigma p is equal to QP divided by A. That means QP is equal to sigma PA. Now substituting the value of QP in this expression, we get dipole moment of dielectric is equal to sigma PAD, and here AD gives the volume of dielectric slab. Now here sigma PV now polarizing vector capital P polarizing vector or polarization vector capital P is equal to dipole moment of dielectric divided by volume. What is the dipole moment of dielectric? Dipole moment of dielectric sigma P into V divided by V. V to V here cancel. That means P is equal to sigma P. Now in vector form, sigma P is equal to vector P dot n cap. Where n cap is the unit vector perpendicular to the surface of dielectric. Hence here we get a result, polarizing vector is equal to surface charge density. Now here next topic one is the electric susceptibility. Electric susceptibility. This one represented by chi. This symbol is chi. E, that means electric. This one is the symbol of electric susceptibility. Electric susceptibility of an dielectric is the measurement of polarizability of dielectric substance when it placed in external field. When a dielectric substance, when a dielectric atom, molecule placed in an external field, then it gets polarized. Polarized, that means molecular dipole align in direction of field. When molecular dipole of dielectric align in direction of field, then we say that dielectric gets polarized. And the electric susceptibility is a measurement of polarizability of dielectric material, dielectric slab. Experimentally, it is found that polarization vector is directly proportional to epsilon naught E. That means polarization vector is depends on applied electric field. This is the magnitude of applied field, and this one is the magnitude of polarization vector. Now we remove this proportionality constant, then here we use a constant chi e. This chi e is called electric susceptibility. Now here electric susceptibility is the ratio of magnitude of polarization vector and epsilon naught E. There are two relations. This one is the relation between magnitude of polarization vector and the electric field, and this one is the relation between electric susceptibility and the magnitude of polarization vector. What is the SI unit of this chi E? SI unit of chi E, that means SI unit of this polarizing vector, SI unit of this epsilon naught, and SI unit of this field. What is the SI unit of polarization vector? SI unit of polarization vector is Coulomb per meter square. And what is the SI unit of epsilon naught? SI unit of epsilon naught is the Coulomb square Newton meter square into SI unit of electric field Newton per Coulomb. Now we solve here. C square, C power minus 1, this gives C power 1, that means this one is cancelled to here, and this Newton to Newton, and here meter power minus 2 into meter power 2, this gives no unit. That means electric susceptibility have no unit, that means it is dimensionless. Now your next topic one is the relation between electric susceptibility and the dielectric constant. A relation between chi E and K. K is the dielectric constant. Here we used expression of reduced field. Reduced field, that means when a dielectric slab placed in external field, then there is a internal field produced which is opposite to applied field. That means there is a net field is the difference of applied field and induced field. So now here reduced field is equal to E naught minus EP, where E naught is the electric field in vacuum, and EP is the induced electric field after polarization of dielectric slab. Let sigma is the surface charge density of plates, and the sigma p is the induced surface charge density. Now E naught is equal to sigma divided by epsilon naught, and EP is equal to sigma p by epsilon naught. But magnitude of polarization vector P is equal to sigma p. Now here EP is equal to P by epsilon naught. This P is the magnitude of polarization vector. Now here we substitute the value of polarization vector in terms of electric susceptibility chi E epsilon naught E divided by epsilon naught. Now from relation E is equal to E naught minus EP, here E naught is equal to E plus EP. Now we substitute the value of EP here, we get EP is equal to chi E epsilon naught E divided by epsilon naught. This epsilon naught cancel by this epsilon naught. Now here E naught is equal to E plus chi E. Now here we take capital E is common, then 1 plus chi E. Now here E naught by E is equal to 1 plus chi E. But by definition of dielectric constant, K is equal to E naught by E. Now here this one is the equation number 1, this one is the equation number 2. From 1 and 2 we get K is equal to 1 plus chi E. This one is the relation between dielectric constant and dielectric susceptibility. Now here next topic one is the capacitance. Capacitance or capacity. Capacitance or capacity of any conductor is defined as the ratio of charge given to conductor and a corresponding increase in its potential. Capacitance or capacity, from capacity name it is clear that this store the charge. conductor store charge. If conductor store charge, then as well as we say that conductor store electrical energy. Experimentally it is found that when charge given to conductor, then its potential also increase. From this relation, V is equal to 1 divided by 4 pi epsilon naught Q by R. Here V is directly proportional to Q, or Q is directly proportional to V. That means charge given to conductor is directly proportional to corresponding increase in potential. Now here we use a constant C. This C is a proportionality constant, is called capacitance or capacity. It depends on geometry of conductor, where C is the constant, depends on nature and geometry of conductor, is called capacitance or capacity of conductor. Now C is equal to Q by V. That means capacitance of any conductor is defined as the ratio of charge given to conductor and the corresponding increase in potential. If there is a zero charge, if there is no charge on conductor, then there is no potential. If we charge give to conductor, that means charge increase on conductor, then correspondingly potential also increase. If there is a initially charge Q naught and the corresponding potential is V naught, and if we give a charge dq and the corresponding increase in potential is dV, then capacitance of conductor is defined as the ratio of dq to dV. Charge is a scalar quantity, potential is a scalar quantity, and capacitance is also a scalar quantity. What is the SI unit of capacitance? SI unit of capacitance is coulomb per volt or farad. Now here 1 farad is equal to 1 coulomb per volt. Here we define 1 farad capacitance. 1 farad capacitance of any conductor is defined as the charge given to conductor 1 coulomb and the corresponding range in its potential is 1 volt. If we give a charge 1 coulomb of a conductor and the corresponding increase in potential is 1 meter, then capacitance of conductor is called 1 farad. Again here we repeat, when charge given to conductor is 1 coulomb and the corresponding increase in potential is 1 volt, then capacitance of conductor is called 1 farad. From expression, C is equal to Q by V. If Q is equal to 1 coulomb and V is equal to 1 volt, that means charge given to conductor is 1 coulomb and the corresponding increase in potential is 1 volt, then C is equal to 1 farad. Now here practical units of capacitance. First practical unit used, these practical units are used in numerical problem. Microfarad. First one is the microfarad, mu f, 10 to the power minus 6 farad. And the second practical unit is nanofarad, nf, 10 to the power minus 9 farad. Third one is the picofarad, pf, 10 to the power minus 12 farad. These are the practical units. What is the dimension formula? What is the dimensional formula of C? That means capacitance. Here C is equal to Q by V. Now here V is equal to W by Q. Then here C is equal to Q by W. And Q is written as current into time. This one is the IT square. And this one is the W. Now here we write the dimension formula of C. That means dimension formula of current is A. Dimension formula of time is capital T. And dimension formula of work is ml square T power minus 2. Now here m in denominator comes in numerator, then its power is minus 1. Here L square in denominator comes in numerator, that means L to power minus 2. Here T square, and in denominator T power minus 2, and T power minus 2 comes in numerator, then here T power 4 and here A power 2. This one is the dimension formula of capacitance. Now we derive a relation or expression for capacitance of an isolated spherical conductor. Capacitance of isolated spherical conductor. Let there is an isolated spherical conductor have radius capital R and charge given to conductor is plus Q. Let total charge given to spherical conductor concentrated at its center. Then what is the potential at its surface? Potential at any point on the spherical conductor V is equal to 1 divided by 4 pi epsilon naught Q by R. Because this plus Q treated as point charge, and here a point P on its surface at a distance capital R. This one is the expression of potential due to point charge. V is equal to 1 divided by 4 pi epsilon naught Q by R. In this derivation, why we found the value of potential? Here we have to derive the expression for capacitance, and by definition of capacitance, C is equal to Q by V. That means if we have to find the capacitance, first we found the electric potential. So here first we found the electric potential. Let capital C is the capacitance of a sphere. Then by definition of capacitance, C is equal to Q by V. Now we substitute the value V here, we get result. C is equal to Q divided by 1 divided by Q divided by 1 divided by 4 pi epsilon naught Q by R. Now here Q to Q cancel. This one is the 4 pi epsilon naught R. This one is the expression for capacitance of isolated spherical conductor. Here from expression it is clear that capacitance of isolated charge sphere is directly proportional to its radius. That means now here found the capacitance of Earth. Now here we treat Earth is a spherical conductor. What is the expression of capacitance of spherical conductor? C is equal to 4 pi epsilon naught R. What is the R? R is the radius of a spherical conductor. Radius of Earth, capital R, is equal to 6400 kilometer. Now it convert into meter, 6.4 into 10 to the power 6 meter. Now here what is the value of 1 divided by 4 pi epsilon naught? Value of 1 divided by 4 pi epsilon naught is equal to 9 into 10 to the power 9 Newton meter square per coulomb square. Now here 4 pi epsilon naught have 1 divided by 9 into 10 to the power 9. Now we substitute the value of radius capital R and the value of 4 pi epsilon naught in this expression. We get here a result 0.711 into 10 to the power minus 3 farad. Now here C, Earth, if we take 711, what happens? Decimal move 3 point in right side, that means 10 to the power minus 3 into 10 to the power minus 3, and this one is a farad. Now here 711 into 10 to the power minus 6 farad, that means 711 microfarad. On Earth's surface there is no any conductor have radius equal to radius of Earth. That means Earth is a very big spherical conductor. Very big spherical conductor, very large spherical conductor have capacitance 711 microfarad. That means farad is the biggest unit. Farad is the biggest unit of capacitance. Hence we use some practical units. In numerical problem, capacitance are always given in microfarad or in nanofarad. Note here. Here we take capital N spherical conductors and combine and form a bigger conductor. Let small r is the radius of each small conducting spheres, and capital R is the radius of bigger sphere after combination. Now here we have to found what is the capacitance of bigger sphere, what is the potential of bigger sphere, what is the ratio of capacitance of smaller sphere to bigger sphere or bigger sphere to smaller sphere. Now here volume of bigger sphere is equal to capital N. Here capital N is the number of smaller spheres. Capital N into volume of small sphere. Now here 4 by 3 pi capital R cube N into 4 by 3 pi small r cube. This one is the expression for volume of sphere. Now here 4 by 3 pi cancel. Then here we get capital R cube is equal to N small r cube. This one is the relation between radius of bigger sphere and radius of smaller sphere. Now here capital R cube divided by small r cube is equal to capital N. That means capital R by small r is equal to N power 1 by 3. That means this one is the ratio of radius of bigger sphere to smaller sphere in terms of small spheres, small droplets. What is the ratio of capacitance of bigger sphere to smaller sphere? Let C1 is the capacitance of bigger sphere and C2 is the capacitance of smaller sphere. Then what is the value of C1? Since there are conductor in shape of sphere and the capacitance of spherical body, spherical conductor is 4 pi epsilon naught r. C1 is the capacitance of bigger sphere and the radius of bigger sphere is capital R. That means C1 is equal to 4 pi epsilon naught capital R and the C2 is the 4 pi epsilon naught small r. Then what is the ratio of C1 to C2? Now here C1 by C2 is equal to 4 pi epsilon naught capital R and 4 pi epsilon naught small r, 4 pi epsilon naught cancel. Here C1 by C2 is equal to capital R by small r and capital R by small r in terms of number of spheres, capital N 1 by q. This one is the relation here.